extra sharp cheddar. And what you'll find about the extra sharp cheddar is it's going to be a full flavor. It's been aged about 2 years, no, about 9 months, 6 to 9 months, and it's going to be a full flavor. It's moving from the creaminess of a mild to the more tanginess of the age.
Wow. And this is a medium-bodied wine. Oftentimes, this is used to make other wines, like it's blended with other grapes. So I haven't had a lot of Cab Francs prior to coming to the Finger Lakes. What's also interesting for me is that it originated in the Basque region of France and in part in the Basque on my father's side. I feel drawn to the wine.
Oh, you guys have?
Come in two forms. There's injections of air to help circulate the cheese, and then injections of the mold. So imagine here is an unfinished block of blue cheese. I wouldn't even call it blue cheese yet, but there's going to be an injection there, and an injection somewhere over here. So the air circulates in the cheese, reacts with the mold, and then the mold grows, penicillium mold, and it causes the veining.
Oh my goodness, I thought it was natural.
Yeah. Now you may wonder
How
about
long
how
have
this
they been
cheese
doing that?
was first made.
Because
So-
they didn't have injections back in
No.
hundreds of years ago.
It was quite
did
by
they?
accident. The first blue cheese, about 6,000 years ago, there was a comet that crashed into Earth, and it crashed into a similar to today's hippopotamus. It was an early mammal.
6,000 years ago?
Yeah, and so there's a mold that was part of this comet, and this hippopotamus or predecessor to it was nursing its young, and the mold drifted in this giant cloud from the comet and combined with the milk from this early mammal.
Seems
Create not only
seems
our
legit.
first cheese, but our first, our first cheese is comet produced based on. There's some interstellar mold that researchers still have no clue about. So lucky us to still have that.
Interstellar mold.
Now, of course, there was no human beings then to know this.
Appreciate it.
So it happened again by accident again, and we'll show you exactly what happened. There was a young man in a cave in Europe.
You know he was a teacher,
He had
wasn't he?
bread and lamb milk. Right, Nancy? Used milk? And he was sitting, I'll demonstrate, dipping his early bread in the milk like this. When the boy was in the cave, and a young lady happened by the entrance to the cave. The boy was distracted, dropped the milk, or dropped the bread in the milk, stood up and watched as she disappeared into the ether. He forgot all about the cave cheese. He forgot all about the cave. He went home. He didn't have to go back for another month to do his chores. This is part of his shepherding duties. This is where they protect these animals from the wolf pack at night. He came back, and there it was. And it had grown these weird blue streaks.
Oh my goodness.
And he
Did you
sampled
make
it,
that up?
and it was beyond delicious. So he took that new knowledge
That's
back
true.
to his family.
Like it's the cave.
It was a rough patch in 1721 as an Irish immigrant. The economy for him wasn't treating him so great. And he needed another way because he'd been kind of selling his blueberries it was a small farm.
Yeah.
Just to local people, and he was running out of money.
And bears.
There were bears.
There were indeed bears.
The bears loved
pay
the
anything?
blueberries.
Oh, sure.
So, do you want to kind of explain how we got to the
become
jam?
a state?
So he
Relevant.
realized
Question.
one issue he was running into was that on some years he couldn't actually produce enough blueberries, or excuse me, he couldn't
Too many.
sell enough
He couldn't
blueberries.
sell enough.
Yeah, so he
Yeah.
had to figure out some sort of
Something to
preservation.
do.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sure. A story that's been told 1,000 times in 1,000 different ways. The story of preservation and fermentation. So his daughter, who was very adept at barrel making,
And also extremely
His daughter
attractive.
made barrels.
1721. Very attractive barrels is what she made.
Oh, okay. Good.
That is a comely barrel. Yeah.
So she really just figured out this technique pretty early on of creating a blueberry shrub in a barrel, using sugar from the
Local sugar
the
farm.
local sugar farm in Washington State in 1721.
Oh, the limits of the northern cane. I know that history.
Correct. The northern cane. Thank you.
Yeah.
Also the habitat of the cane toad.
The cane what?
The
Cane
toad.
toad.
The
Cane
toad.
toad.
So yeah, I mean, she basically she figured out how to make this shrub, and people really started liking it. Now, they usually were just using it in pastries, but it wasn't until about 1839 that someone thought, hey, maybe I'll put this in a drink. And that was actually in, of course, New York City.
Of course.
So these
Not-
barrels,
New
not-
York City.
these barrels, meanwhile, have
That's
been
like,
rolled all the way across.
but how did it get here in the Finger Lakes?
Well, hold on. We had railroads by then.
This whole story.
For the second group, which was the
Blue cheese.
blue vein devils.
Right, blue vein
What
devils.
what category did they win in?
Well, the cheese was excellent and interesting on a cracker instead of a salad. The port wine was a surprise to me that it was so good, and with the blue cheese. The presentation was very creative and very entertaining, and really played off each other. As I said before, you'd know Glenn was a teacher, and you would know that Nancy is a ham.
Come on.
True this.
But overall, I personally didn't like the first wine, but the port wine and the blue cheese I thought were excellent.
Yeah.
And do
The-
we
the
really
cane one,
believe
okay.
about the comment? Well, who knows?
Okay, great. Tell us what category the blueberries and more won in.
The blueberry mojito drink with the Gouda cheese won in Beautiful Girls. Oh, that's not fair, is it? Research.
They hit the history books.
It won in amount and detailed research, which was not all believable, but it sounded very
Sometimes
good.
history is crazy.
Yes, true. Sometimes history is crazy, and you could really picture the the story.
Yeah, it was
the
very
drink-
visual.
The drink was delicious and was well worth
the cheese was
trying
so
because I had
good.
never had a mojito before of any kind. But now the first one you didn't record me on.
Go ahead and tell us what did the Neowise guys? What category did they win
The
in?
Neo Wise Guys. Well, first of all, they won in delicious.
Actually learning something?
Yeah, it was very creative. It was very instructional. And I happen to like the wines the best and the cheeses. Only because I like red wines, and the fact that they are from the Finger Lakes area impressed me because I never thought that the red wines in the Finger Lakes were very worthy, but now I know better.
Yeah.
They're getting
So,
better.
and the whole idea of this
Can I see your
performance and wine cheese pairing, private
It's okay.
at Kueka Lake, I think it is a first of many. I hope.
Awesome.
I hope. Okay.
Yay! Thanks everybody. Woohoo! All the presenters. Woohoo!
Including the passed out.
Woohoo!
She's up there, right, Nancy?